Hi, and welcome back to Thone's Nibbles number 204, concerning the book of Philemon, entitled it, But Now Profitable to Thee and to Me. This was, I'm quoting from Philemon. Of course, there's only one chapter, so we don't have a chapter number, and it's verses 10 through 16. I appeal to you for my son Onesimus, whom I have begotten while in my chains, who once was unprofitable to you, but now is profitable to you and to me. I am sending him back. You therefore receive him, that is, my own heart, whom I wish to keep with me, that on your behalf he might minister to me in my change for the gospel. But without your consent, I wanted to do nothing, that your good deed might not be by compulsion, as it were, but voluntarily. For perhaps he departed for a while for this purpose, that you might receive him forever, no longer as a slave, but more than a slave, a beloved brother, especially to me, but how much more to you, both in the flesh and in the Lord. The general idea is from slave to brother. That's the flow here. Now, why is it in the Bible? Paul is showing his moral courage. That is, basically, Philemon had this slave named Onesimus who escaped. He came to Rome and in some way or other found Paul, who was, of course, in chains for the second time, and in fact, for then he was saved under the preaching of Paul. And so Paul now calls him my brother in Christ. And apparently Onesimus was a quite good person. And Paul wished that he could stay with him, but recognized that that would not be fair to either Onesimus or Philemon, because they had a situation to settle between the two of them. And so he sends him back with the instructions that he prays that they will be reconciled and beyond reconciled to become brothers in Christ as well as owner and slave. It's to all believers. The communications. Paul returns his new brother in Christ to encourage his friend Onesimus. The application to my life. We should exercise our freedom in the Lord, not just to do His will, but also to do it in the right way. This may include giving away an advantage we already have to make our behavior even more transparent and godlike. Thus our witness will be stronger. That is, Paul desired the presence of Onesimus with him. However, he realized that morally that wouldn't be right, because he was essentially stolen property from his other friend, Philemon. And therefore he's showing his moral courage, the courage to do right, and thus returns him there, hoping that the same relationship can be established between Philemon and Onesimus, Onesimus, that was established between Paul and Onesimus. And so that is the idea. And, the fact is that he thinks that by taking this moral high road, he actually will be even more effective as a witness for the Lord. And God's message, I think, here is a right cannot be made from a wrong. That is, the fact that the property of Philemon disappeared and was improved in the time with Paul, it still doesn't stop the fact that Philemon was right in having him back. So a right cannot be made from a wrong. That is, him being right with Paul cannot be made fully until he is also right with Philemon. A personal response. Lord, if I am taking advantage of another's work, please point this out to me so I can make it right. And that's something that we probably in this world need more of, because there are so many people who take advantage of someone else's work. And I don't mean they just continue it on after that person is no longer available, or there's lots of things like that happen. I mean, the Wright brothers are not here to head the aircraft industry anymore. And so there are other people with other names that have continued that tradition of the ability to fly with a powered machine long after the Wright brothers were gone. And that's fine. However, if I am taking advantage, for example, I am a corporate head of some sort, and my people invent something new and wonderful, they should be rewarded for that. Now, that's not to say that my company will not also benefit from that. In fact, that's the way most such things are, is you get some sort of remuneration from your company if you, on company time and using company equipment, invent something. I know that I am an inventor. That doesn't mean that they are not, that there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the deal that was made between the inventor and the company that supports the inventor. So we know that the big money in such a case goes to the company because they provided all the facilities. They were paying the person at the time they made the invention, and it was made with the equipment that was provided by the company, and so on. So there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is if I just simply steal someone else's idea, steal someone else's concept for my own benefit, and ignore the fact that they invented it first, and that's wrong. So we need to ask God to help us note if that happens in our lives, that we operate without credit, giving credit to those who actually had the good idea. And that's something important, particularly in the spiritual world where we have ministries which may compete for resources within a church, and the if a new ministry comes along, suggested by someone unexpected, let's say, the pastor can't just grab that idea and run with it. They have to give credit to the person who did it. And that's really what a more modern interpretation of what's wrong with all this idea is. So until next time, we'll see you then.